Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th tutorial class on digital communication. Hope you are doing well and enjoy the puja vacation with proper safety. So now let's move to the content of this class. So initially we will discuss the about the ISI effect, which was already elaborated in the earlier classes. ISI means inter-symbol interference, and next we will discuss about the zero forcing equalizer. Basically it is used to reduce the ISI effect on baseband signal of digital communication system. And after that we will discuss about the eye diagram. From the eye diagram we can study about the ISI, about the nature of the ISI effect on the digital communication system. Lots of information can be extracted from eye diagram, which can be generated in only CRO. Okay, so let's revisit to the intersymbol interference, or in short form, which is known as the ISI effect. As we already know that all the practical communication channel are non-ideal and non-linear in nature. Now, due to this reason, when a baseband signal passing through a non-ideal practical channel, a rectangular pulse spreaded in the time domain, and due to this spreading, two consecutive or two neighborhood symbol may interfere with each other or overlap with each other, and due to this overlapping or interference, detection may be erroneous. Okay, so you can see that this is basically a on off signaling where 1 is represented by plus a volt and 0 is represented by 0 volt. But here you can see that due to the pulse spreading, the rectangular pulse has been spreaded in the time domain beyond its limit. Okay, that means it should be within this time period or time width, but it has been spreaded across the uh, after the TB time period. Okay, and it has been overlapped with the next one. Okay, so here you can see that after the ISI effect, the combined or the ultimate output from the communication channel. Okay, so here obviously at this point the voltage should be 0, but here you can see that there is we are getting a finite value, and similarly at this point we are getting a finite voltage level. Okay, so this is known as the basically ISI effect. So to remove the ISI effect, Nyquist has proposed certain criteria. Okay, it has been proposed that PT, that means the transmitted signal, has the should have the following property. That means at t equal to 0, the value of PT will be 1, and at t equal to plus minus ntb, that means decision making instances, other decision making instances, that value should be 0, and in the others point we are not interested. Basically we are interested only at the decision making instant, or we can call it as the sampling instances. So apart from those point we are not interested, but at t equal to 0 the value should be 1, and other sampling instances the value should be 0, so that at the sampling instances there should be no overlapping or no interference. Okay, so this is basically the ISI effect. All these things are already discussed in the earlier classes. As we are continuing this tutorial classes after a long time, therefore we are revisit the ISI effect. Okay, so to remove the ISI effect, one of the most convenient way is that to use sine sinc function or the raised cosine function. Okay, S- now coming to the next process to remove the ISI effect, which is known as the zero forcing equalizer. So it is ought to mention that we are only interested to minimize the interference at respective sampling instances or decision making instances. Okay, if there is interference others apart from the sampling instances, there will be no problem. Okay, basically at the sampling instant we are making decision, so that's why these points are so much interested. Okay, so this is basically a block diagram of zero forcing equalizer, which consists of 2n plus number of time delay section. That means time delay section means if a signal is passing through a time delay section, the output of the time delay section is the shifted version of original input signal. So there are 2n plus number one time delay section and 2n plus number of gain section. Okay, so you can see that this one is the gain section. This is nothing but the amplifier. Okay, so the gain of the amplifier is c minus n, c minus 3. Sorry, this should be c minus 3 like this. Okay, you can see that there is a it will be continuous like c minus n plus 1, c minus n plus 2 like this. Okay, so c minus 3, c minus 2, c minus 1, c0 and c1, c2, and it will continue up to cn. So total 2n plus number of gain section, and ultimately there is an adder. You can see that all the output from the amplifier or gain section is coming through the adder section, and all the uh, inputs are adding up at this point, and we get the output at p0t. So it is expected that PRT may have ISI effect, but P0T should be should be clear from the ISI effect. That means P0T should not have any kind of interferences at the decision making instances. So let's move the working principle of equalizer. So to begin, let's set the tap gain as like this. Let's C0 equal to 1, and others all the tap gain value become 0. So if we make this condition like c0 equal to 1 and others all the value become 0, then what will be the output? You can see that for PRT, for PR, this is the input signal. Now the output of the first delay section will be PRT minus TB, and the output of the second delay section will be PRT minus 2TB like this. So ultimately at this point the output will be PRT minus NTB. Okay, and if we go through the gain section, the output at this point will be C0 multiplied by PR into PRT minus NTB, and as the all the others values of the gain section are 0, so ultimately the output will be PRT will be C0 into PRT minus NTB. Okay, so you can see that the output will be exactly PRT minus NTB. So what is PRT minus NTB? This is nothing but the shifted replica of PRT. That means the output is shifted at the point NTB. If you observe the represent time domain representation, the pattern will be similar. Only the difference is the that the initial point is starting at 0, but here you can see the starting point will be NTB. Okay, so this is the basically shifted version of the original signal. So basically all these these two this shifted version and the original signal have the same information, only there's some kind of delay. So in practice, in this delay basically has no practical effect on communication system. So ultimately, what we uh, need to extract the information at the decision making instances. That is matter. Okay. So you can see that PRT is the input signal. Okay. So you can see that these are the basically sampling instances like minus TB, minus 2 TB, minus 3 TB, TB or 2 TB or 3 TB. If it follow the Nyquist criteria for 0 ISI, the value at TB, 2 TB or 3 TB, the value should be 0. But here you can see that there is some kind of non-zero finite value. Okay. So we can say that PRT is suffered from ISI effect. So if it passed through the equalizer, the P02 should have value or should have 0 value at the sampling instant. You can see that at NTB, this one is the n plus 1 TB, this is the n plus 2 TB, that it here you can see that at the decision making instant the value becomes 0, value become 0. Now question arises, how it is possible? It is possible by setting the value of tap gain properly. So by adjusting the tap gain of the equalizer, we can get additional shifted pulse of the signal. Okay. So by setting the different value, optimal value of Cn like C minus n, C minus 2. So by choosing proper value, we can generate additional shifted pulses of the proper amplitude, and it will force it will force the resulting output that have desired value. That means it will become 0 at plus minus TB, plus minus 2 TB like this. Okay. And at t equal to 0 it will become its original amplitude. Okay. So thus we can say that P02 forcefully follow Nyquist criteria for 0 ISI. That's why the term coming 0 forcing. Okay. So by using some kind of proper setting or proper implementation, hardware implementation, we can forcefully make 0 ISI condition. Okay. So now if we P02 P0T, if we expressed it in using some kind of equation, it can be expressed using this equation like n equal to minus n to capital N Cn, which is nothing but the tap gain multiplied by PR into T minus NTB. It is quite similar. PRT multiplied by C minus N, PRT minus NTB multiplied by C minus N plus 1 like this, and it will all the term will be adding up, and we will get P02. So we can say that P02 is like this. Now if we substitute, as we already told that we are only interested at the decision making instant. That means we are dealing with the digital signal or discrete signal. So we can tell that we can substitute it like t equal to ktb, where k is the decision making instant. The value of k will be 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 like this, and with more convenient notation k plus ktb equal to k. So you can express this equation like this: p0k equal to summation of from n to minus n to n Cn prk minus n. Okay. So we are basically this one is the output output of the equalizer, which consists of tap gain multiplied by the shifted version of the original signal. However, however, we are only interested at the sampling instant. To follow the Nyquist criteria, P0Q, P0K should have this following property. Like for k equal to 0, the value should be 1, and at the other instances like for k equal to plus minus 1 or plus minus 2, value should be 0. Okay, so we get total 2n plus number on value, 2n plus 1 number of value. Okay, so if we substitute this all the value in this equation, we get already 2n plus number on equation. So these 2n plus 1 number of equation can be expressed sorry in matrix form, and from this matrix or from this equation, value of c minus n, c0, cn, all the values can be solved or can be extracted. So you can see that in matrix format all those equation can be expressed like this, like this one is denote the p0, so matrix will be 1 in or dimension of the matrix will be 1 into 2n plus 1. As following the Nyquist criteria, all the others value are 0, only k equal to 0. At k equal to 0 the value is 1, so you can see that only the value is 1, others value are all the 0. And this one is the c minus n, c minus n plus 1 continues up to cn, and all are the corresponding value pr0 at that means value of pr at 0 instances, value of pr at 1 second, value of pr at 2n second, like this. And this one is the shifted version, shifted version, and shifted version. Okay, by solving this we can easily get the value of c minus n, c0, and cn. Okay, so this matrix can be is also known as the trench matrix, that has been used to get the value of optimal value of the c minus n and to up to cn. Moreover, apart from this conventional process, uh, recently different AI based optimization technique has been applied to solve the this nonlinear problem or to get the optimal value of tab gain. Okay, so that we can achieve zero ISI. Okay, so as you already heard about, like different optimization techniques like genetic algorithm, particle swarm optimization, or ant bee colony optimization, all these optimization techniques can be applied to solve this particular problem. This is where this one is the one of the current research area where AI has been introduced in the digital communication system. Okay, you can use it for your own project or research purpose also. Okay, so however, so this is uh, basically the working principle of zero forcing equalizer, and we have seen that by choosing proper value of tab gain we can easily achieve zero ISI condition by using equalizer. Fine, I hope you have no problem. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, that is the eye diagram. So eye diagram basically it is a practical way to observe the intersymbol interference or to study the severity of intersymbol interference. The ISI, the effect of the ISI or the severity of the ISI can be observed in CRO by observing eye diagram. Now, how can we observe eye diagram in CRO? So, if we apply the received digital baseband signal to the vertical deflection plate, which is nothing but Y plates of the CRO, and a sawtooth wave, which is also known as the triggering signal of the CRO, along the horizontal deflecting plates, or you can call it as X plate, and the frequency of the sawtooth wave is the same as the signal transmission rate, which is nothing but 1 by TB, if TB is the time period of the corresponding signal, corresponding line coded signal. So in that case, if we apply again, I am telling, if we apply the original baseband signal to the Y plate of the CRO and a triggering sawtooth signal to the X plate of the CRO, which has the same frequency as the baseband's digital signal. Then you can achieve or you can observe CRO in a display. So what appears on the CRO is simply the input signal is cut up at every TV time interval, and those subsections will be superimposed with each other. Okay, so simply the input signal are divided or cut up into the TV interval section, and then they are or they will superimposed on top of one and another, and the resulting pattern is known as eye diagram. Why? Because the resulting pattern is look like human eye, which has width of TB, and where m number of symbols are superimposed with each other. Okay, you can we can call it as the eye diagram. The following figure is example of eye diagram in DSO. Okay, you can see that these are this is look like eye, human eye. Okay, now let's move to the more details of eye diagram. Consider a polar non-return to zero line coded signal where 1 is represented by plus a volt and 0 is represented by minus a volt, minus a by 2 volt, sorry, plus a by 2, minus a by 2. Here you go, and the width of the signal is TB. Okay, so transmission rate of the signal is 1 by TB, or frequency of this line coded signal is 1 by TB. Fine. So okay, so if this signal is used for generating the eye diagram, what will happen? This signal will divide it into the different subsection which has width of TB. Like first section is like this, second one is the zero, this section, this one is the this zero section, third, fourth one is the this section. All these cut up section will be overlap or superimposed with each other, and if they are superimposed with each other, it will look like rectangular pulse. Here you can see that there is no distortion, no change in shape, or there is no ISI. So this is the ideal case. Okay, so in ideal case for polar energetic signaling, the corresponding eye diagram is rectangular shape, purely rectangular shape. Okay, which has width of TB and height of plus a plus a by 2 to minus a by 2, that means a. This one is the zero crossing point where the voltage cross the zero. So when the for ideal case, the for ideal case, the output eye diagram will look like a perfect rectangular shape. And here you can say that we will observe fully open eyes. Okay, now consider the second case. When the signal signal has been changed its shape, but there is no ISI effect. You can see that uh, the symbol for one is only limited within the TV time width. Okay, so for this so and for zero it will it remain in this limit. Okay, so obviously you can say that there is no overlapping at the decision making instances, there is no zero, but the shape of the symbol has been changed. So in that scenario, the corresponding eye diagram will look like this, and you can say that it will look like a human eye. Okay, so And it is interesting to note and observe that at the midpoint of the width of the eye, the opening of the eye is maximum. Okay, so at the midpoint, the opening of the eye is maximum. So where the maximum value or maximum amplitude has been observed, so to make the decision, we should consider the midpoint where the eye has been opened maximal. So here it has been written that uh, for this condition, second case, we will observe the human eye shape in the CRO where at midpoint the eyes are open maximum. So at midpoint the noise effect is least, and the midpoint should be considered as the for decision making instances to achieve the best noise immunity. Okay. Uh, Moreover, it has been observed that at zero crossing there is no overlapping. Okay. Now coming to the next case where ISI has been observed. That means the shape has been the symbol has been distorted such that it has been spread it has been spreaded beyond its limit and interfere with the next symbol. And for these cases, the corresponding eye diagram will look like this. Okay. So here you can see that there is lots of overlapping here at the zero crossing instances, also overlapping at this region. So and the I got but one point has been observed that at the midpoint the eye has been opened, and this should be considered for the decision making instances. Okay, so here you can see that lots of signal are overlap with each other. That means uh, ultimately the eye become hazy. So by observing the corresponding eye diagram, we can get lots of information about the intersymbol interference. Now let's see the details of the information that can be extracted from the eye diagram. Okay, so we can call this line. There is two line. First, it should be considered as the plus a by 2 volt, and it should be considered as the minus a by 2. This would be for 1 and this would be 0. Obviously, this eye diagram has been discussed for the polar cases. So plus a by 2, minus a by 2. Okay, and you can see that this is look like a human eye. Okay, and at this point eye has been opened maximum, and this is the therefore you can call it the optimum sampling instant where the eye opening as is maximum. That means decision should have taken at this point. Okay, this is the level crossing. That means signal has been crossed the zero voltage level. Okay, and this is called, that means the differences between minus a by 2 from level crossing value, this is called as the noise margin at the best sampling point. That means either plus a by 2 minus 0 or minus a by 2 minus a by 2 to 0. That is the noise margin at the best sampling instant. What is the noise margin? That means it should be considered if it added to the original signal, the decision may have changed from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. So that means this amount of noise can be tolerated so that original decision can be taken, or correct decision can be taken. So that this is the noise margin at the best sampling point. Okay, and there is the error free sampling region. Here you can see that at the level crossing lots of overlapping has been observed, but we should consider the the region where there is no error, or there is no overlapping. That should be the error free sampling region, so you can call it as the error free sampling region. And there are also some kind of overlapping at the level crossing, which is the ambiguity, that is okay, shows the timing jitter. Okay, fine. Now coming to the this denote the sensitivity to the sampling time. Okay, slope, this slope denote the sensitivity to the sensitivity. What is the purpose of that? Originally If there is no ISI or no distortion, the slope of the line should be very high. Okay, that means the value of the slope 1090 infinite. But it has been observed that whenever there is zero ISI, that means when the signal spreaded more, when the pulse is spreaded more, that means in that cases this slope become very small. Okay, so by observing this slope, we can get an idea about the sensitivity to the noise or sensitivity to the ISI effect for the particular cases. So all this information we can extracted or gathered from the eye diagram that has been observed in CRO. Okay, so coming to the conclusion, so in this classes basically we have discussed one of the most important blocks or important feature of digital communication, that is the equalizer. So by using equalizer, we are forcefully remove the ISI effect from the from the digital signal. And next, the eye diagram. So from the eye diagram we get lots of information about detailed information about the intersymbol information. Okay, so these are the references that I have used, and thanks. And if you have any question, please post them. I'll be very happy. Thank you.